Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here with a review of the Power Rangers Lost Galaxy 5-inch figures. Alright, so I guess we'll go ahead and jump right in. Usual thing here, or spiel or whatever about my retro reviews. I am missing certain things from the review. In this case, I've had these since they came out, but I just do not have the items with me. They got lost somewhere in translation. So accessories wise, as you can see, the Core 5 here are holding their Quasar Sabers, so they come with those. Now, if I remember right, they all do come with their individual Trans-Dagger weapons as well. I just do not have them, and I also believe Magna Defender came with his weapons. They're probably somewhere in the giant weapon box. But they do come with them. There might have been something else. Actually, there's something else for the girls, which I'll mention in a minute. But that is all I know for now. Anyway, let's go ahead and go over this. I will do the articulation only for one guy, one girl, and the Magna Defender, since they're all sort of different. Anyway, now let's really jump into it after a minute, and I guess we will start with Red. Here is the Lost Galaxy Red figure. Now I'm going to be honest, I actually really like these figures. As you can see, they're sort of the stereotypical muscular figures, and in space we started getting these regular ones. But for whatever reason, I always really dug these. The head sculpt on them, while paint accurate, you can see, is a little weirdly proportioned, definitely. But that's not too huge of a deal. I hate the fact that there's any form of nostalgia or fondness for me for these, but there kind of is, because I just really dig them. I'm never a huge fan of the Lost Galaxy main suit, but I really like the helmets. And for whatever reason, I really like the figure. As you can see, they all do come with Quasar Sabers. They're just the gray plastic, but they do have a little bit of design on them. They don't have the individualized little animal symbols, but they do have a little bit of the molding in there. And they work just fine. As you can see, there's a holster there for it to hold it. Articulation-wise, he can move both of his arms around 360. Oh, stiff. We haven't done this in a while, Leo. And he can move his elbow here with a single elbow joint. And he can swivel his fist right here, which is nice. His legs are on this nice little hinge joint and have pretty much more articulation than his arm, because they can move in and out, up and down, side to side, all that fun stuff. You cannot swivel, though, which is unique. But you do get movement there, and you got this single knee joint as well. You can move their head around 360. It's pretty stiff, but it's like pretty much on their neck. But so pretty minimal articulation. We're on our way to getting better articulation, but still. The main feature on these guys, though, is they actually have voice sounds. Now, press this little button here. You'll see that there's a microphone here. Now let's listen to this clear Leo sound.
Let's rock it.
Wait a tick.
Let's rock it. Let's rock it.
Yeah, that's Andros. Unless I am completely 100% insane, which is probably true. But in this case, unless I'm insane in this case, the voices for these Core 5 are in-space voiceovers, or at least very good in-space sound-alikes. So, here's Andros. So yeah, when I was little, despite the fact that I'd seen the pictures of this in Fox Kids magazine with Leo and Kendrix as new Rangers, because of these voice bites, I thought the Space Rangers were going to be them. You know, mainly because of how things operated back then. Anyhow, let's go ahead and we'll do a girl now. We got Pink here. Now, the Pink figures do not have the voice boxes on the back. Now, here's the unfortunate part. You can see there's two little pegs here. They have backpacks that come with it, and those have the voices on them. And I don't have them with me. They are somewhere, I swear. I'm really upset I couldn't find them, because I really did try. But yeah, so I'm not going to be able to get voices for these. I can't remember both of their phrases, Pink and Yellow's. I know one of them said, Supernova! I'm so sorry, I just did that. But that was one of them. I don't remember the other one, but that was one of the phrases that you heard. But anyhow, here we have Pink's figure. The head sculpt's pretty solid, I'd say. Not bad. I like how I say not bad, and then you see these. Articulation-wise, as you can see, it's a little bit different. The arms are pretty much the same. You got the 360 movement here. You got the single elbow joint, the swiveling of the fists. Her head can also move. I almost said it. But her legs are these weird, like, twisty thing, and they don't move in and out. I'm not sure why. You do have a single knee joint here, and the swiveling, so you trade out being able to swivel for these weird leg joints. I really wish that the leg mold was just the same. But yeah, that's that. There's really not much you can do. Alright, now we have Blue Ranger here, who has the same exact articulation as Red, so I'm not going to go over it. And I'm wasting time just telling you that. But I think the head sculpt on him looks pretty solid. As you can see, mine's a little beat up. These actually aren't ones I played with very often or anything, they just got beat up from being in storage. But I think he looks pretty good. I think he's got one of the more solid head sculpts. Pretty solid looking figure. He does have the voice box feature, so let's...
Megazord power! Megazord power!
DJ.
Megazord power!
Like I said, these have to be voices, unless they got, like, actor voices, unless they got, like, really good sound-alikes. Alright, now here we have Yellow, which, fun fact, in the Japanese version, if you did not know, is a guy, and I actually have a figure that's pretty much along these same lines. It's actually the guy version. Maybe I'll review that someday. But this one has the girl body, the same weird mold. Like I said, I wish I had the normal legs. The backpack goes right here. I think maybe hers is Supernova, because in my head that sounds more like Ashley, but I'm not sure. And here's her head sculpt. It honestly looks pretty cool. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty well proportioned as well. Wow. I like how I zoomed down there when I said well proportioned. But still, actually, hold your Quasar Saber up. You're embarrassing yourself. Alright, now here we have the Green Ranger, which is my personal favorite just because he's my favorite suit, or I guess helmet, because all their suit parts are the same. That sounded gross, suit parts. But yeah, he's pretty cool looking. I always just really dug this figure. I think his head sculpt looks pretty good. Maybe the helmet's a little bit, thinner in the show, but I think it looks pretty good for the most part. Like I said, same mold. Back here you do have the little voice chip, so...
Blast into space! Blast into space!
Carlos.
Blast into space!
So yeah, there is that. Alright, and then we have the Magna Defender here. I don't remember if there's any other people in this wave. I know there's a couple of times where I got comments saying, oh, you forgot to do this, but sometimes I just don't have all the figures that came in the wave, but I do have Magna Defender here. He's got a cape here that comes off. There you go, so that's cool. It's just this sort of solid plastic piece. It's got, like, gross scratches on it. It's like a sticker that's got onto it. But still, it's neat that it comes with it.
Galaxy!
Thanks, spoiler alert. I was going to save that for later. But he also has the voice feature. You got the button here, actually, instead of on the back. And
Defend the galaxy!
so they didn't continue the trend with that. So it's not Zane, for sure.
Defend the galaxy!
Because if it was Zane, it would be like, let's wreck it! Yeah, he does have a voice phrase. It doesn't sound really like it doesn't sound like Zane if they were doing the space voices. It doesn't sound like Mike, and it doesn't sound like the Magna Defender. But anyway, he's a pretty decent little figure here. His head sculpt's pretty solid. The rest of his details aren't bad either. Articulation-wise,
Defend the galaxy!
no. Articulation-wise, Defend the Galaxy makes no sense. Pull yourself together. 360 arms here. You got a single joint here, swiveling. You essentially have the same articulation as the guys here. The leg on this little hinge joint, knee joint, no swiveling, move his head. So he's pretty much using the guy mold. But pretty solid. Like I said, I do believe he comes with his weapons, I think, both variations. Just snap the cape back on here. So, pretty cool. He's a pretty solid little figure. But anyway, overall, I really dig these figures. Obviously, they're not the most amazing representation of the figures. They are that muscular kind. But honestly, I think they look really good on the shelf. And especially for, like, someone who likes to collect all the older Power Rangers figures, I can definitely recommend it. Because I still think they look decent on the shelf. And the voice feature is really cool. Even though they're not the voices of the Lost Galaxy Rangers, they are voices of Rangers. And I think that's really cool. And when I was younger, and even now, these are some of my favorite 5-inch figures for one reason or another. So I definitely recommend them for an older collection, or even if you just want some good figures to represent Lost Galaxy. But anyway, that's about it. Until next time, make sure you check out the Crazy Podcast at WritersRangersRambles.com, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, this is Dawson Ryder, signing out.